I figured you would be the most nervous.
No, I'm not nervous at all. I'm excited. I have not played Voquis in so long.
It's not nerves. It's just a little uncomfortable.
It's true. Okay.
I just feel really bloated right now.
There we go.
This is why
Bloated Elric.
I feel very, very bloated. All right. So this is episode 1, essentially, of the new format. It's the first time being in video. We have some new members of the cast and a few less. So everyone, I want you guys to kind of say hi and tell us, who you are, what you're playing. So this is the first time people are seeing you. Yay! I didn't tell them to dress up or anything. Yay!
Yeah, I look like a trash bag.
Yay, trash bags!
Yay, bag of trash.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Voquis. Firbolg, level 5 now. I'm super excited to be back after a little bit of a break. Super sad to see Ava go, but we'll get to that later in the episode. So, pass it off to
Way to ruin it. Trent.
What's up, ladies? It's Elric. In full frontal.
His number is on the left-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah, if
There's
you look
actually
at the
a
right-hand
screen
corner of the
now.
screen.
Yay! There's not.
This joke is funny now.
I'm playing Elric, level 5,
Relevant.
Druid Firbolg. Excited to be back, but also nervous, I guess. It's been a while. I don't know if I...
It has. So I looked at it, and it has been 2 months since we've actually recorded anything.
Dang.
So it is feeling a bit rusty. New member.
I'm feeling
New
crisp.
member. So my name is Nick. I'm playing Balrog the Conqueror. He's a level 5 as well. A little bit about him. He just wants to rule the lands in hopes that he wins the approval of his family.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Balrog. Did you end up deciding you want to do first name Bal, last name Rog?
Yeah, we can do that.
I like it.
Split it.
Ball.
Hyphen
Ball.
between the two.
Balrog.
Hey, Bal. Balrog. Yeah. See?
My name's Dustin. I am playing level 5 Barbarian by the name of Bruce Rockbear. He's a pretty good guy, a historic fighter. He'd rather much use his fist to beat somebody to the pulp than he would kill, but he'll kill if he has to. Bruce is looking for a family to be a part of, and he's hoping this is his family.
Sweet.
Bring yours a little bit closer if you don't mind. Cool.
Thanks, Bruce.
This, to be 100% honest with everybody, this is going to be pretty raw. We're sitting here, we have one member that still hasn't shown, so we're just kind of going to go with the flow. And with video, this is all kind of new to us, so bear with us as we kind of get used to this craziness. Today, we are going to start off with a little bit of backstory of where you guys left off, because you guys left off in a very specific spot, and then their storyline kind of melds. So if you guys are ready, we'll go ahead and get into it. Everybody good? Cool. In the last episode, the 3 adventurers started off with a thought in mind. They ended up going to sleep and experienced something that they had never experienced before. This out-of-body experience where they were thrown into different goblin bodies and experienced and saw through the eyes in real time Ferritu and his army decimating the entire goblin village. They saw Tia was taking some of the people, from some of the goblins, away from the city, the goblin city. You saw the shard actually interrupt and damage Ferritu, which is a little bit of foreboding for what you guys have used it before with Ava. And you guys ultimately at the end, the souls found their ways back to your guys' body, and the episode ended as all 3 of you at the same time came out of the bed and was just alive. And that's where we ended last time. So, that little boy runner, as you guys have been woken up multiple times before from, he comes down, the door opens up while you guys are sleeping, right as you guys come to, and you all 3 look at each other, and that little boy goes,
Hey, guys, you guys gotta come. Nathaniel needs you, like, right now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Ava's looking just as confused as you guys. She's there with you.
The weirdest dream.
Do you guys want to talk or anything before heading up to Nathaniel?
No, I guess if Nathaniel wants us, we should.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Ava and I'm gonna say, Ava, did you have a weird dream?
She's going to look at you and have this very, very dark countenance. There's no bright aura around her. And she's just going to keep her head down and look at you and say, I don't really want to talk about that right now.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like grab her hand and squeeze it.
Yeah,
and
she
then-
puts her hand in yours and you guys
Yeah.
make your way. She is definitely showing a bit of change. You've seen this type of change before when the portals have opened, and it's probably a drawback to some of her story that she's trying to stay away from. She almost died in the portal to the Four Corners, So that same type of feeling is being shown. So you guys make your way to Nathaniel's, which is you're only going up 2 flights, okay? You guys make your way up to Nathaniel's. You're still, unless you want to put on armor and things, you're still kind of in
Oh, yeah, I
like
would
general.
put on my
You would
armor,
gear up
yeah.
first, okay?
Yeah.
So you guys gear
I would
up.
have grabbed like my staff and everything.
Okay, great. You guys are fully clothed, geared up. You make your way up to
I've made that
Nathaniel's.
mistake before. Not being clothed in front of Nathaniel. I'm not gonna do it again.
Well, that'd be weird to show up in the morning and be like, "Here I am."
What's up?
You guys open the door, not really knocking because the boy opens it for you. And what you see before you are 3 people, and then Tilda and Nathaniel.
Oh,
Nathaniel, just go ahead and come on in. Great news. As you can see,
yeah, Tilda's
back.
That's awesome.
You specifically, is there anything you want to do?
No.
No?
Specifically want to do nothing.
Okay. Ava's going to immediately run over to Tilda and give her a big hug, as that's been on her mind for the last long amount of days, what seems like forever. And they exchange a few words back and forth, and Nathaniel just kind of stepping back in his chair a little bit. Well, go ahead and make the introductions because, quite frankly, here's your new group. There's a lot of things happening very quickly, and we don't have any time to waste, but I want you to meet your new party members for the sake of Haven. And he's pointing at these 3 people. You have a human looking warlock, a human looking sorcerer with long robes, different ornate symbols throughout his robes, but he's very plain looking. And you have, go ahead and describe your character.
I'm big orc, half Goliath. Got a few tats on my body, but pretty much just wearing my loincloth with maybe a nice belt, and got my great axe.
Shirtless? Or are you?
I'm shirtless. no, I have a breastplate.
Oh, that's
I
right.
do have
That's
a
right.
breastplate.
You have a
So I do
breastplate.
have a breastplate.
Now,
Yeah.
half Goliath, you're pretty huge.
I'm pretty huge.
Are you
I'm
like-
huge for a half orc.
Are you like 8 feet tall?
I am 7 feet even.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, just broad
Just-
as can be.
Brick shit house.
Okay.
Shorty.
And then right next to the half orc is our.
Dragonborn, Paladin. He's about 7 feet tall, I would say.
My good, you guys are
Yeah.
just huge in this room.
That's right.
You're 7 feet something.
I'm 7, I believe 9.
Yeah.
I'm
So
tall too. I can't remember how tall
You're
I
like
am.
6'9".
it's like 6'8", 6'9". This is a huge group.
Bunch of
6'6", yeah.
So tell us a little
Biggies.
bit about the Dragonborn. What does he look like when we walk in the
So
room?
the Dragonborn looks like, I guess he has a tail, and he has blue lightning coming out of it. He's very darkish in color of his scales, and he, I guess, would be decked out in some sort of armor.
Cool. So
Sweet.
between these very fearsome-looking people, Nathaniel, after you guys exchange names, is there any type of introductions you want to do? Like, oh, okay. Or is there anything
Yeah.
you guys want to say
What
to
are
each
your
other?
guys' names? I don't think I caught them actually.
I'm Bruce Rockbear. This is my friend Balrog. He's a good guy. He's my mate.
Bruce and Balrog. I'm gonna write it down just so
Yeah.
I know, because I'm gonna say it and be like,
And
wait
I'm
a
going to
minute.
apologize. I don't remember the name of Alex's character.
Steve.
Steve.
If he keeps with it, it's Steve.
That's beautiful.
This is Steve.
He's always,
Steve.
well,
Balrog.
my name is Voquis, and this is Elric, and that's Ava.
Pleasure to meet you.
Ava's staying in the back of the room a bit, a little. This is very strange for you, as she's never had this type of cowardice kind of aura about her, staying in the back and very reclusive. And she kind of just pipes around the corner, a little bit of brightness in her face, and she kind of, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys as well.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
I'm sorry to do this. And she's gonna walk a little bit up towards Nathaniel and just kind of scratch her neck a bit and takes out her necklace, the tier 2 necklace, and she puts the tier 2 pendant on the table in front of him. Nathaniel, I have to leave. I have to. I thought this was going to be what I needed in order to find my retribution, but it's not. It's not the way I thought things were going to happen. And there's too much going on that I can't control. And quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to find what I need here. So, I'm sorry. And she just kind of shoves the tier 2 towards. Not trying to make eye contact with any, specifically you, Voquis.
Yeah.
And Tilda is just starting to cry as she just got home. She doesn't know what's happening, and now she's leaving, and she just wraps her little arms around Ava's waist and says, "Just please don't go." I have to. Ava's going to turn around to Voquis and look you directly in the eyes. I truly hope the best for you. Take care of Hilda for me, as she cares about you.
Why
This
are you
is-
leaving?
This isn't my place. When we found ourselves in that portal in the 4 planes, I found the reason that I was so scared is I have to find retribution another way. This shard scares me. I don't know why I was given this shard, but it has nothing good, and I hate everything that has happened with this shard. I want nothing to do with it. I will live a better life if I distance myself between this artifact, whatever it is, and she takes it out of the pocket that she has it in. She puts it on the table. You guys just deal with it the way that you guys can, but I cannot be here anymore. She'll turn a bit and say, I have to make things right for my family. That's my whole purpose of being here. And I feel I'm not getting what I need in order to do that. I feel that my path is going to go a much darker way than either of you are prepared to take. I don't expect you to understand, but please just take this. And she puts the shard back into the little purse that she has. It's a little pocket purse that she got, and she hands it over to you, Voquis.
I immediately just take it and put it on the table. Like I don't
Sure.
really want to touch it. I'm just gonna take her hands and say, if you ever need anything, if this ever gets too much to you, even if you think it's too dark, call me, call us. We will be there in a heartbeat for you, and you know that. For anything.
This might be the last time I see you. But know that if our paths cross again, ever, I'll be there for you.
Please, if you're in trouble, contact us.
I will try.
Thank you.
She turns to Elric and gives you a hug, kind of around your upper waist, and just kind of whispers into you and says, please just take care of her.
I will. And I'll pat her on the head, and then I'll druid craft a little flower crown, and place it on top of her head.
Just a bit of a smile, and an aura brightens a little bit. And as you do that, Nathaniel stands up in the chair. Well, there's many things to be done then. I'm sorry to see that you're leaving, but there is quite a process for you to leave. I will respectfully accept your resignation, but you are going to need to go to Mercy and get the tattoo removed. The blood poured out, and then finally you will be walked out the gates. So go talk to Mercy if that's really the course of action you want to take. And she just nods and turns to all of you and turns around. Tilda's tears still rolling down, not really understanding. Looks to both of you, looks to Nathaniel, looks to the new members. Nods. The countenance darkens again and goes out the door. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, what's going to happen with her, she's going to go to Mercy. She's going to get the tattoo removed. And unless you guys are going to walk with her, which
I mean, I kind of want to go with her because I know how painful it was to get it put on in the first place, and so I kind of want to be with her.
I mean, you can absolutely try to go with her.
I want to try to go with her.
Sure. As she's turning and going out the door, do you run after her?
Yeah.
Okay. She just turns and just puts up her hand. It's already really tough to deal with this right now. Let me endure the pain my way. I'll see you before we go, before I leave finally. And keeping her hand up, then she turns and walks out.
Obviously, Voquis crying.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, where's my cry count?
Nathaniel sits back down and, well, that was very unexpected. Now you're one less. Well, great. Okay, there's 5 of you. This should work regardless. I'm sorry to pull you out of your sleep the way that I have, but there is a very important mission that I have for the 5 of you together. These 3 have joined this week while you guys have been gallivanting around and doing great work. They've been brought in and have been brought up to tier 2 as they've shown that they can really do work. They really impressed Malcolm, they impressed me. So treat them as equals, but unfortunately this quest lies on them, but I need experience to go with them. Your goal is to travel south. You're going to look for the Necro Gnome. He is a healer. He's going to provide a spell for the 3 of them. Past that, you're there for protection. Make sure that they're safe. I owe them one. And he just kind of nods to the 3 of you. They brought Tilda. They found her, they killed some gnolls, and they brought her here. I owe them a great gratitude, as they had brought my little sister back. And he just kind of puts his hand on her shoulder as he's walked around, comes around to shake each of your hands. If you could leave today, that would be great. Time is of the essence. You will find a cart down outside, ready for you when you're ready to go. But I know, looking at Voquis, that you'll want to say bye one last time to Ava, as there will be a ceremony at the front gate.
Voquis wouldn't have come back if she was crying. Voquis would have been just right outside the door listening.
Well, I was playing it that you hadn't left the room, that you went after her as she was leaving.
Yeah, it's just
You're
Voquis
going
wouldn't have
out
let
the door?
Nathaniel see her cry.
Okay, so we'll play that you're outside the room during this speech. Please let Voquis know, and Godspeed. And if there's any trouble, let me know. Past that, I will take care of the rest of the paperwork. I just kind of puts his papers down a little bit and then motions for you to leave.
I wait until our new compatriots leave, and then I'll say, Nathaniel, may I have a word with you? I know.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, I'm not leaving right now. But
Everyone else is left.
Yeah,
You're waiting for
everyone
that.
Thank you, Nathaniel. We'll do you well.
Thank you, Bruce. Go get a beer down at the Drunken Horse. Go get a beer.
Come on,
wait
Balrog,
wait
let's go
for
get
us.
drunk.
You take Steve with you, and make sure to get Voquis on your way out. She definitely could use some Hilda time.
Yes.
Okay. And he nods to you guys, and now you have the floor.
And as they leave, I bring up the dream that I had to Nathaniel and be like, Nathaniel, I had the weirdest dream last night, and I got the feeling that Voquis and Ava probably had a similar dream, and I saw Ferritu. He's east, pretty far east, but he was destroying a goblin community. I'm guessing he's working his way through, trying to convert people to his following. I saw Tia, and so as soon as this mission is done, I'd like to get the team together to go and get Tia and help them. She seemed safe. She was helping the goblins leave,
Okay.
but that's going to be my top priority after this mission.
So you're saying you saw Tia and Ferritu in a shared dream. Do I have that right?
It seemed that way.
You sure it wasn't just a spell of some kind?
It was
This
way
seems
too
real?
vivid. It seemed real.
I wouldn't be I would be surprised if this was the first time you've ever brought anything that doesn't make sense to me, but this isn't. That shard, what you guys have been dealing with. I will have to have some scouts head east to see about this goblin village. Unfortunately, I can't make a decision without confirmation.
That's fair. And hopefully you'll get that confirmation by the time we're done with your necronome.
Did she seem she was heading this way?
She seemed like she was helping the survivors of the village. I don't know if she was necessarily heading back to Waterdeep, but she was okay, which was the most
good.
important part. And
I know her and I did not leave on the best of terms before she left, so I would be very distraught if all of a sudden something had happened to her, and that was the last words I ever spoke to her. Is there anything else that you need? I'll send my troops that way.
no, that's it. Just kind of confirmation, and
Thank you,
hopefully we
Elric.
can get to it. Yeah, no problem.
We had nothing to go off of, so this is a good start.
Yeah.
I'll send my scouts, and we'll see what they say.
I think, and the shard's still on the table, right?
Yep.
I think it had something to do with this, the shared dream. Would you mind if I took this?
To be honest, I don't want to touch it. Malcolm had a horrible fit, and I would prefer it to not be in my presence.
Then I'll take it off of your hands for you. And
As
I'll-
you touch it, it doesn't affect you.
I'll
Not
take
in the way that before, Ava was the only one that it affected,
And Malcolm.
and Malcolm, as
And
they
Malcolm.
touched it, but it didn't affect you.
you
Our
know,
protective fur.
yeah, the fur on my palms.
All the furs. So,
Disgusting.
anything else you want to do with Nathaniel, or are you
No,
going to take your
I'll
leave at that point?
take my leave after that and
Okay.
catch up with the
The group.
the new
Okay.
people.
Great.
And I don't know what Voquis doing.
You guys make your way out the front gate. There seems to be a lot of bustle. People have been putting on some armor that you haven't seen before, a little bit more ornate and golden nature. And you guys make your way out the front gate and over to the Drunken Horse. You see Hilda, drinks, and what we're going to do for the passing of time here is I'm going to explain to what Ava is going through. She goes to Mercy, and of course he talks to her, and there's the information, and she tells him what's happening. He gets his tools out, goes over, and begins the process of removing the double Ouroboros dragon tattoo. He completes it. People can hear some screams. It's extremely painful. This is not a normal tattoo by any means, and then to remove it, it's intense. He enjoys it, as he enjoys a little too much of pain. But halfway through he's doing it, he whips himself a couple times just with his tails.
Degenerate.
Yeah, he's a little weird. And she gets that removed, and he goes around to the back, in that back room that he has, and he takes out her vial, and he takes it out, and he says a few words into the vial, and then pours it out on the ground. The blood splatters, the blood then turns black, and then goes.
Which one?
The wolves.
So you guys are making it back
The
to
minis.
the Drunken Horse. I couldn't remember the name of it. And you guys sit down, have the drinks. She's getting the
never
tattoo
mind.
removed, and during the tattoo, it's painful, yada, yada, yada. The pours out the blood. We already said that. Fantastic.
Tight.
She then makes her way to the Drunken Horse with you guys. But as she's coming around the backside of Haven and coming around, there's quite a amount of people, let's put it that way, and you four hear a set of horns go off. What do you guys do? Do you make your way back? Do you stay there?
So I guess on our way to the Drunken Horse, I would have talked to our new members.
Sure.
I kind of want to ask like how they found Tilda and what happened and where was Tilda and
Sure.
all that, because we've kind of been looking for her too. So
It depends on how
I've been
you guys
looking for
do. You
two.
guys want to explain it, or you want me to explain it at a high
You
level?
explain it. High
Okay.
level.
Does that work?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you did a better job.
So for them, they found Tilda up north, about a 2 days travel. There's a 3-pack of gnolls, and Tilda was in a crate that was held on the back, and she was being transported. That's really all that they know about the gnolls per se. They killed the gnolls, rescued Tilda, thinking they were going to get some money. She was so helpful and thankful that she's like, please let me repay you by taking you to Haven. And that's how they ended up at Haven. Is there anything specific you're trying to ask for?
no, because we knew Tilda. Like she
Yeah.
was part of our. She wasn't a coworker. She was like part of our family and everything like
Yeah.
that. So like, she meant a lot to us, and we were looking for her. And
She was the front
everything.
desk girl. I
She's a
mean,
front desk girl.
Well, I mean, Ava was trying to bang her, so like I feel like
This is
she's
true.
a little bit more to us than that. So.
Maybe to Ava.
I was Ava's wing woman. Anyway,
Wait,
totally
Yeah.
off
Sure.
topic.
it's true.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to know that. But
Yeah, the three of them basically came upon them and was trying to make some money, and they ended up killing the gnolls as they got aggressive to them, and then looted their bodies and found Tilda in a crate. You could, this will be the first roll of the day, roll an insight.
that's my favorite.
Roll an
one.
insight to see whether or not there's any information that they could give you regarding what they found.
Soft 20.
Soft 20. So Bruce brings out a piece of clothing with a symbol on it that matches the gnolls and that gentleman that helped you fight the gnolls a while back. They remember it was a very odd-looking sigil, as the gnolls were very
That
well armed.
Noble symbol,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
It's the same symbol, and Bruce
some
brings
notes
this
on
out.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yeah, we've seen that before. When we were fighting orcs, gnolls, the shaman with a squirrel? Magic squirrel?
A magic squirrel.
Yeah, it was funny. It bit me, I grabbed it, it tried to poof out of existence, and then it just in half, and it was gone.
Oh, that's
died.
pretty cool.
And it was dead. But yeah,
So
we've seen it before.
you could, with the soft 20, this little tidbit I'll give you with this is you could surmise that
Ooh, my
remember the
Kraken.
writer, and it was saying there's gnolls, the gnolls are coming, they're kidnapping people. It looks like a band of gnolls came across Tilda as Tilda was outside the gates doing something.
Okay.
That's about as, I mean, soft 20 is pretty good, so that's about as far as I'll give you.
I have King Rosalind in
Okay,
my
so
notes.
the horns go off. It sounds more like a celebratory horns. Do you guys remember, it's just right around the corner. Do you guys make your way back?
I'd make my way back after pounding back the rest of my beer.
Sure.
There we go.
And there's been about 15, 20 minutes of you being at the place, at the Drunken Horse. So you guys all make your way back?
Yeah.
Stay as a group.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you because normally you do something different.
Well, okay. So I mean, I don't want to like push back the story, but I mean, obviously, if I'm in the Drunken Horse, I'm gonna talk to Hilda, and I'm
Sure.
gonna word vomit at Hilda that like Ava's
Disgusting.
leaving, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna like cry into her arms, or like try not to cry into her arms, cause like like
Sure.
I'm trying to play it cool,
That's not very cool to cry.
Yeah, so like
No, I get you.
Yeah.
We can 100%. I'm not going to roleplay that just to keep for the time's sake. But yes, Hilda, very very motherly with you, as you are sobbing and just
no, not
vomiting.
sobbing. I'm not gonna sob. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
crying.
vomit.
Let's
No,
go with crying.
I'm not crying. I'm going. No, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, instead of actually drinking, I'm gonna go behind the bar and help her. And while we're like divvying out drinks and stuff like this, I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna tell her what's going on with Ava, but I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna be
Okay,
strong like
we're
a
gonna
rock.
go with that. You're gonna be really strong, and she's going to be very surprised and sad that she's leaving. And when she hears the horns, she looks over at her mom, and the mom kind of looks over at her as they know what that is, and they go, "We have to go. That has to be Ava's horns then. That's the ritual. They always do this." And as she goes around, Mother as well, and most of the members that are inside there, that all are part of Haven, they all exit as well. So I'm guessing you all go with? Okay, great. You guys all go with, and when you go back around the corner and inside the gates are open as there's a large group of Haven members coming back. And when you come into the gate, what you see looking towards, remember the balcony of Nathaniel and the actual castle itself. Nathaniel's out on the balcony on the second level, and there are Haven soldiers in gold ornate armor sets with the Ouroboros on them, and they all have their weapons creating a crescendo, and there's 15 of them on either side. And so all the members, that's what you're walking under as people are coming back. The crowd has come around in the courtyard. You have the 15 soldiers on either side, and the goblins come out of their little home, come back around the side. Mercy, everyone's in the courtyard. And Nathaniel looks out across everyone and says, "I have very sad news today, as a member of ours is leaving. It is tradition that we sound the horns, and as one, we bid them farewell. New, old, we are a family, and Haven is sorry to see you go." And looks down, and Ava is fully dressed. Most of her armor that she showed up with is what she has on. She does not have on the armor of Haven. Her countenance is a bit brighter, as she was not expecting this type of ceremony. And then Nathaniel looks down, he makes eye contact, he nods, and gives a hand wave, and there are horns playing. It's kind of a lulled music as everyone begins to cheer, and the swords raise higher in one accord, and the guard themselves, they turn, and they all just look at her together. And she begins to walk, that 50-foot walk, between everybody as they are just clapping as she is leaving and walking. And she goes underneath all the swords, the war hammers, the maces, as these are the people that she's fought beside. Where are you guys in this crowd? Are you just part of the crowd?
I think we should move up towards the front.
Yeah, waiting for her.
Okay, you guys will be up at the end. So, crowd, the 15 guards, you guys, gate. Okay? She's working her way down, the guards, she goes under, her countenance is brighter, as she's feeling that send-off love, that they really do care. And she sees you guys, and smiles or sadness, depending on how you want to flavor that. And she hugs you, Tilda, Elric, shakes your hands, the three of you, looks to you, Bruce, and says, "Take care of them as they will take care of you."
I'll do
To the
my best.
Dragonborn, the same. Please be mindful that Voquis can be a little extra, but she's good.
We've seen, thank you.
That's fantastic. Steve looks at Steve and smiles, and Steve just kind of goes, And she just kind of awkwardly looks back, gives you guys a final hug, and puts a little sack of things, just like a little, like a little bag, like a coin bag, into your hand. Yeah.
Dramatic effect.
puts it in your hand and says, "May your journey be well worth everything you need it to be. Find what you're looking for, and hopefully I can find mine."
As soon as she's out of eyeshot, I open it.
Sure. So the gates open, the bells ring, perfect timing, and she goes out into the right. The doors close, the horns fade, the swords draw down, and Nathaniel looks out upon the crowd as they're all kind of expecting him to say something. Back to it. And the crowd begins to disperse.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Good old Nate
Anything
Daddy.
you guys want to do at this point? You have a current quest for you guys. I want to kind of get the intention. Bruce, anything you want to do at this point? Just kind of hanging out?
Hanging out, go with the group.
Okay.
What I need to do.
Balrog.
I'd like to go ahead and cast my spell for Find Steed.
You're going to go ahead and do that?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to spend the next 10 minutes. And what this looks like for you is you put down your weapons and you start to put out your hands, and out of your hands begin this weird ethereal mist. And it begins to, almost like a 3D printer, right? You put your hands over the base of the ground, and all of a sudden, hooves begin, or claws begin to materialize, and you work your way up as if you were sculpting out of nothing this ethereal steed. And it'll take you 10 minutes as you produce your, oh wait, Oscar, right?
Awesome.
Yeah! Oscar the ostrich.
Oh, that's cute.
And it'll take you the next 10 minutes to bring him to life. And when the ethereal is done, when it outlines all the body, and when it completes, all of a sudden with the shimmer starting from the top down to the ground, all the feathers and the fluff becomes real. And then he's just kind of looking at you, nuzzles you to try to get some food, like
Could I pet your bird?
just looking for some tack, like trying to get in your pockets as he has done multiple times before. Anything, we'll do that here in a little bit. So you're going to do Find Steed. Elric, anything particular?
No, I'd probably be
Just kind of
looking
hanging
at
out?
the bag with Voquis.
Okay. Bag.
Bag.
So inside the bag, there is 250 gold. There is not the shard. Sorry, Elric, you have the shard.
Mm-hmm.
There is just a meaningless ring, and the other odds and ends that she has acquired since partying with us. Which, majority, when you look inside this little bag, it's a bag of holding. It's smaller. It's only a 3 foot by 3 foot space, but it's a pocket dimension bag of holding. It's meant
She's been
when you
holding that
put
this
it
entire
against a
time.
piece of clothing, it acts like a pocket.
Oh, yeah, I
So
remember.
it forms
yeah.
into a pocket, whatever piece of clothing you stick it to. There's not much else in there. There's no like notes or anything awkward. I'll get with you after the session to make sure that you have I'll go
Yeah,
back
I
through my
have-
notes and make sure there's.
Well, I have Ava's character sheet at the house, so.
Yeah,
I can
we'll
see
go through
what's-
and make sure all the stuff is there. She basically hawked the things that she had like purchased, and she put on her old armor set, and then she gave back the armor that was made to the guild.
I'm gonna give you all the gold.
Who, me? What?
You can have it.
So as
Should
they're
we
going
not split
through
this up?
that tidbit, and they're going to
Since we
rummage
have
through
a
the
new group?
bag and find a place to put the pocket. You'll have to decide where you want the pocket,
Yeah.
whatever
I
piece
want
of
the
clothing.
pocket. I don't need the gold.
Sure.
You can split up the gold.
Sure.
And then you're doing the Find Steed, so as it produces, it kind of looks around like crazy, splat, and like looking in your pockets, like pecking, like, where's the tack? I gotta find the food. Do you
I
feed
will
him or
give it to
anything?
I do, yeah. I'll feed him a carrot. I found that he likes carrots.
Oh, he loves carrots.
So
Roll
I-
an animal handling check for me. At advantage because you're feeding him. Animal handling is one of your skills, so you'll roll 2 d20s, and then if there is any add-on bonuses for animal handling.
So that would be 21.
21. You feed him the carrot, and he just gobbles. Have you ever seen like a dog eat like a hot dog? Just just
Yeah.
gone. That's what he does with the carrot. It's just
Just inhales
gone.
it.
And
Makes
he's
me
just
think of that
happy.
vine.
And he nuzzles his long neck, and it's got to bring the neck down against you. And what you're going to start seeing is the more. Give me an insight check.
How big is this ostrich?
Not as big as you would imagine.
So normal-sized ostrich.
It's a normal-sized ostrich
Carrying
that
a 7-foot
7-foot dragonborn with plate armor
Nice.
on this. It never missed leg day. That's what
Yeah.
we're gonna go with.
Legs
This is
are
just
jacked.
the best legs. It's super jacked,
Yep,
but it's
that's
not
right.
a big bird. What's your insight?
20.
Soft 20 or hard 20?
16 plus 4.
Okay, soft 20. With the soft 20, you start to get the feeling that you've been over the last few months that you've had this. The more that you bring the steed out, feed it, treat it with respect, the more that you might be able to have it do as far as commands. So how this is going to work is when you want to try to train it, you're going to give me 2 animal handling checks. And as long as they both beat the DC that I set, that action, as they get progressively harder, you will then be able to have those commands be for that creature. So you'll be able to, right now, it understands ride, neck down, stop. But if you're trying to get it to do an attack or something like use your beak or something of that nature, you're going to have to train it a little bit, and that's where the animal handling comes in.
Sure.
So if you want to, you've already passed one. If there's something off the top of your head, and that's kind of up to you what you want it to do, as long as under discretion. Is there some kind of attack thing that you would want it to possibly try to train it, as you will only need one more check to do that with? You could do like a single claw attack, since it's got 2 massive dew claws on it, kind of like a raptor. You could do a beak attack.
Okay, yeah. Let's do a beak.
A beak attack?
Yeah.
All right, so give me another animal handling check, and because you don't have any food this time, unless you have... unless you give him a ration.
I'll give him a ration.
You're going to give him a ration? Okay. She knows what you're doing and hands you a ration, so go ahead and roll an animal handling at advantage, and then give me that total.
So
Remember, 2d20s for advantage. So you just roll it again? Or is it nat 20?
He rolled once, then he just rolled again.
Oh, okay, all right. What's your total?
So
6 and 3.
6 and 3 plus 1, so 7.
No, you don't add the
2.
2d20s. You just take whichever
Oh,
one's
the-
higher.
So 6.
So which one was
6
higher of
plus
the 2
your-
rolls? 6?
Yeah, 6 plus 1, so 7.
Okay, so it does not make it for the second
Yeah.
one, and it kind of... I don't really
Yeah.
like that. It just
Yeah.
kind of gives you that look like...
Yeah, it's okay,
tack
Oscar.
is not
Settle
very
down.
yummy. And it just kind of... And it
like
does,
his
it does its
bird.
own thing, as it kind of like a chicken does. And it like pecks at the ground a few times, and like there's some children. It kind of over the kids as it tries to knock them over with its head. It's a dick bird. Like it is. Oscar is not the nicest bird
Oscar's
ever.
young, yeah.
I want to walk up and like pet Oscar along the like back of the neck head area.
Using anything?
No.
You just want to pet him?
Yeah, I just want to pet him.
Okay. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Am I not using my animal handling?
That's what I'm asking. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
then
of course, I'd be like
That's what I
using
was
my
asking.
natural abilities as a druid to like.
Okay.
Be
Kinda-
careful, Elric.
Use your animal handling and give me the total. No advantage.
Be easy with
16.
him.
16. You walk up and he just knocks over one of the goblin children and it's kind of squawk squawk squawk. And the kid's like, and it's running away. The bird kind of looks back around and you're like right there. You have this moment when you look in the bird's eye and the bird's kind of like, what are you about to do? And then you put up your hand and pet the back of its head. And it just kind of lets out this weird like squawk purr. Just
Chewbacca style.
yeah, a little bit of a Chewbacca in there.
I'd like to ask Oscar how old he is.
And Oscar,
Due to my circle of the shepherd, beasts understand me, and I can decipher through their noises and motions. Like, kind of.
is there an intelligence level on that?
No, it's just like no sophisticated concepts.
Sure,
Kinda
but
like-
it can do age.
Yeah, I'm sure
Okay.
it could do age.
Sure. So it looks at you, really surprised that you're speaking to it, and it understands. Looks over at his master, looks at you, looks at the master, looks at you, kind of like leans its head down to the ground, and pecks. boom, 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 6 times, making 6 dots. It's like scratches at the dots.
You're an old one, aren't you?
He's actually pretty young.
I don't know how old ostriches
Spectral
live.
ostriches? No, they live for
Eternity.
We'll work out age later, but I just decided he's going to be 6.
6 minutes, hours, years, we don't know. But
6 centuries.
Yeah, he's an old world god. He's the patron.
I like that.
When he
That'd be
poops, he
cool.
pops out little shards of obsidian.
Sweet.
That's where everything came from.
That's what we're gonna
Anyways,
need.
back to canon. All right, so you guys playing around. You've done these things. Is there anything in particular else before I move forward with what we're doing?
I just would like to know, I'm going to disguise self, go to the jeweler, pick up the ring, which I've already paid for.
Yep.
Go back, put the ring in Haven along with most of my gold. I'm only going to take like 136 gold pieces with me wherever we're going.
Okay.
That's a real random
Great.
ass number.
That is real random. So you make your way to the jeweler, and I'll be 100% honest. I don't remember what the jeweler is. I don't have the jeweler in front of me. I'm a terrible DM. So we are just going to play that you walk in and you deal with the jeweler. He ends up just giving you the item as you've already paid. You make it back. You store it. No one else is the wiser. No one else. Are you trying to keep that secret intentionally from the group?
Well, I am. So the jeweler doesn't know that it's Voquis that's doing this transaction. So like I'm gonna disguise self, and then once I get into Haven, because there's such a big deal when a half elf goes into Haven for some reason.
Half elf, half what?
Human. Anyway, such a big deal. So I'm just gonna turn into Voquis before I go into Haven and just go in. It's in my pocket, so like no one knows that I even
Sure,
have it on
sure.
me.
I just want to make sure that was being like put to the side or something of
Yeah.
that nature. Okay, cool. What's up?
Do we have any, as a group, potions or anything? If we're gonna go on this journey, I think I want to stock
I
up.
have like a greater,
healing
and I
potions,
have
anything
some
like that?
herbs that are worth 2, and then I have spells.
I have
Elric's been pretty much the healer. You guys have acquired some spells and certain things over the time.
Yeah.
If you're looking at, if that's what you're trying to look for,
Stock up.
you would have known just by dealing with Haven and things of that nature. There's the general store. Sometimes they have some of those down in the basement where you guys have the tannery, the blacksmith, and the different vendors in the basement. You could definitely go see if they have any, but they did not give you any to start off with or anything of that
It's not the
nature.
monster manual.
Something to
I don't need
also make sure you understand is there is a stipend per week. You guys will be getting 10 gold a week just as being a part of. They take a percentage of your gold from adventures or items. It just really depends on what you come back with.
So we got
but-
to turn in stuff that
Yeah.
we've acquired.
Mine says 15 gold. That was when I was tier 1.
We got better because we did really good. Just
Yeah.
don't tell anyone.
They argued for hours.
We unionized.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's true. So you guys have some starting gold. Specifically, if you remember, you guys had some gold from your travels and things of that
we got
nature.
gold.
Okay,
We're
good.
not as flush as they are, but we got.
Yeah,
some.
no, they're pretty flush. So if is that something you guys want to do? Is go look for some
I
potions?
think we need to stock up before we go on any kind of adventure.
Sure,
So
sure.
I cannot heal myself, so
You know where they are when they have some. There's different potion vendors in the city, but mind you, they're expensive.
Oh,
you
no.
know this. Getting potions outside of that is outrageously expensive. You can still look for them if you want,
Nah.
but down in the basement. If that's what you want to do, we'll play it that way.
I'll rely on Balrog. He'll keep me alive.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Since we're going down there, though, I'll just grab some breastplate from Haven.
Oh,
Just to grab.
some
We
armor.
can just grab. We can like switch out our Haven armor, right? So I'll
If
just
they have it in stock.
they
Yeah.
have it in stock.
So
Are we?
Ava had plate.
I guess.
She had originally breastplate. They would have one breastplate in stock.
Would it fit?
They're going to have to reforge. It's not going to fit your size. But it'll take about a day
He's
to
thick.
reforge.
That's cool. I
You
just
thick
wanted to-
girl.
You thick girl.
I'm really
We all
skinny.
think
I'm
this.
just
Firbolg.
I'm
We've
also
already
really skinny.
we already
but really
drew her
tall.
character. It goes down and then it goes whoop.
There's something that I would like to do. I would like to try to mount Oscar to ride.
Sure. You've already been able to do this multiple times. The mounting process won't be anything different.
Okay.
There is no saddle.
Ooh.
You're right, bareback.
There is you're riding bareback for this. You could potentially for your character, so they know you could go to the tanner down in the basement. They might have some type of like a small head saddle or like reins that you
Yep.
could keep in your bag that you could swap over when he comes alive. You could look for a saddle, but then again, he materializes. So unless you're going to keep a whole saddle on your back the entire time and go bloop, it would be a little rough.
So
you
what?
might-
So what he puts on him he doesn't take it with him. He just materializes. his body.
unless it is part of the spell.
Enchanted.
Yeah, there are ways to make that work. But right now, the only thing that you would be kind of like privy to would be I probably need some like rope or something to put it like a is it a bridle? A bit?
Yeah, a bridle.
Yeah, you put a bridle in his little beak, and so
I have a big pocket. If you want to put a saddle in my pocket.
it's possible. I'm not going to allow that specifically because the pocket that she has only opens to the mouth. It doesn't go like a normal bag that you can just open like really, really big. Hers is a very specific one that is, it's only a 3 foot by 3 foot
Right.
square, and whereas a bag of holdings a 10 by 10 or like an 8 by 8, I can't remember. It's huge, right? So for this, that won't work, but you could put like a bridle in there. Like you could stuff some leather in there.
Yeah, so I'll fashion out of the rope that I have with me, I would fashion a bridle.
Do you want to go talk to the tanner? They could do it for you, is what I'm getting at. They could do that, or you could just fashion one and tie it together.
If there's a cost, no.
There won't be because
Okay.
it's Haven.
Then yeah,
and
yeah.
that's. I mean, this is part of the learning, right? Like
Yeah.
you guys haven't like they know what Haven can do. Pretty much, Haven, if they have the services, it's free. They can swap out weapons, swap out gear if they have it or the ability. It just takes a little bit of time
Would
to do
we
it.
have been geared up in Haven gear too? Or not yet?
So as tier 2, yes.
Okay.
Normally what that looks like is that the symbol is put somewhere on the armor, on the
Yep.
shoulder. Since you have your
I have a
giant
breastplate.
tattoo, and
Yeah.
then you have your breastplate.
Yeah.
Something as well, just for you guys, make sure to figure out where you want the tattoo to be. I mean, we didn't really
I think
talk
mine
about
was-
that last
mine's
time.
gonna be on my arm.
On the arm,
Yeah, on the
okay.
bicep there.
Sometimes that's a brandish that could
Yeah.
come into some RP situations, so just make sure. So if you want to make your way down to the tanner, you're going to talk to and try to get a breastplate. You guys are going down to the basement, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, great. Let's do the breastplate first. You walk over to that crazy man, and he's just, yeah, what can I get you?
I need to be protected more. I've
Oh,
noticed
yeah.
that I'm not really protected that well.
Nope.
Not with this hide armor.
What do you
So,
need?
Do you got a breastplate?
Yeah, let me go back in the back and I'll take a look here. He walks into that little doorway. It's got a little swinging door, and you hear just crashing of stuff. I mean, it sounds like he's just throwing things around back there, bashing
is
against the
normal.
wall.
Totally normal.
It just now, and he falls a bit, and then he hears some climbing. We're not damn boxing, and then he comes back out, and he's got a breastplate, and it's got the double Ouroboros in the front, and they're gold. And he goes, yeah, I guess I had one. Is this what you're looking for?
Yeah. Does it actually?
Yeah, let's see here. And he kind of puts it up towards you. Yeah, give me about 10 minutes. I can bang this out real quick. And it's actually pretty big. And I think this is one of the old Dragonborns. It's kind of surprising. It's pretty big. Maybe this will work for you. 10 minutes. So he just goes in the back again. You don't hear like banging. You just hear somebody throwing things around in the back room. It doesn't sound like he's hammering anything.
Like a rubber chicken.
Yeah. So then you walk over to the tanner, and the tanner is an older gentleman. He is a human, and he's, what can I do for you?
I am looking for some sort of bridle for my ostrich, Oscar.
Ostrich.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any ostrich bridles, but I can make you one.
I would love that.
When do you need it by?
At your earliest convenience, if that's all right with you.
cuts off one of his top part of his finger. Without breaking eye contact. 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Did you know you're bleeding?
Should I?
As soon as you like turn around, he just he's just staring, not stopping. I mean, blood is coming out. He cuts the entire top part of his finger off.
Balrog, I think something's wrong with this guy.
Bruce, should we wait outside?
As soon as you guys actually turn around, he just picks up the finger.
I don't get scared very
You
easily.
see him
That
run
kinda freaks
past
me
you
out.
guys out to the front.
Does he run past me at all? Like, do I see him as I'm in the
If you're not
basement?
over there, you probably wouldn't see it while they're doing both at the same time. He runs past you guys and he just kind of yells out, 30 minutes. So what he's going to do, he's going to make a bridle for you. It's very simple. It's only 4 straps, 1 piece that goes in the beak. It's a simple leather so that it doesn't hurt his mouth or anything. Kind of like horses, they have the skin on the sides. Well, there's not skin in a beak like that, so it's just a piece of leather. That goes over the top and 1 under the bottom, and then it comes down into like some reins. But most of the time when you've been riding bareback, you hold on the top of the head and then at the bottom, and you kind of guide him.
He's just taking the neck in his
Yeah,
back.
it's just
Where he wants it to
I
go.
mean, you know, you put your spurs in him, right? But you're like, go that way.
Easy, boy.
Yeah. So you come back. He doesn't have his finger on, and it's all like perfect or anything. When you come back down, it's actually just set there, and there's just a piece of wood, a piece of wood, a piece of wood, and then wrapping. And it's just sitting there, still blood coming out, and he's looking back at you, like nothing happened. It's right there. Take your time.
So I will calmly collect it and I will walk out.
Bruce's eyes are just huge right now. He's just going, this guy's not right.
So, yeah, you turn around. It's real awkward. He's just staring at you with these like super intense eyes, blood just pouring down his hand.
Man, Haven's full of weirdos.
Just working on a knife for no reason.
At this point, like, can I go find them and then, because I feel really bad, just like cast Cure Wounds on this guy because I feel really
So you've
bad.
gotten back and you got the breastplate from the gentleman,
Yeah.
and then you come over and you see this blood, and he's just making this unearthly just contact of eyes. Just,
Yeah.
I'm not even
just
gonna
blood.
say anything. I'm just gonna go up and I'm just gonna touch him and like.
Disgusting.
doesn't look at you. Your hand comes over and you touch.
Bruce, I don't think.
Finger, the
Goes back
finger,
before you cut it off again.
the blood, you know, coagulates and then
6,
kind of
yeah.
rolls back into the finger. That's plenty. And then the finger with the stent and everything else, right into the stent. Yeah. All right. It just goes right back to it. Anything else you guys want to do while you're down in the basement or anything in Haven?
Hey, Balrog, how long does Oscar stake around?
I believe until I shoo him away.
That's real convenient.
Oscar is here to stay until I tell him to get.
Go on.
Go on, get.
Yeah.
Go on, get. So you guys make your way back up to the front courtyard, and at this time there are 4 goblin children on the back of Oscar. Oscar is playing with some of the kids, but he's bunting the human kids, like nudging them and like kind of like cackling when he makes them trip. But he's got goblins on his back, and he seems pretty happy about that. He's becoming a nuisance, as some of the other people are like, what is this bird doing here? So you can deal with that as you may.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But the goblins on the back, yeah, they're just having,
Yeah,
the
they're
kids are having
loving
a
it.
good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? You guys pretty good?
Think we're ready to
Think we're
start
ready.
Yeah, yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay.
going south, right?
South, yeah.
Is Necro? Do you know more about this?
Necro gnome.
Necro gnome?
He's gonna help us out. fix something that's wrong with both of us. All three of us. Sorry, Steve.
Steve's like, okay.
Steve's real quiet.
Yeah, what's Steve been doing this whole time?
Steve's just standing there.
Yeah, Bruce is down in the basement with this guy that clearly doesn't like Dragonborn. Steve's just chilling at the bar or something.
So we're gonna retcon the fact that Steve's just kind of following with you guys. Now, from his backstory that he's already given me, the story really is that he's a pretty calm and quiet person, and he speaks pretty sad. So he stayed with you guys, but I don't need anything, you know.
Oh, great. We got an ER.
I'm just ready to, you know, I'm just ready to go.
I'm just ready to die.
While you guys, you know what?
Thanks for noticing.
Oh, dang it. All right, we're gonna take a quick minute break.
We're rolling a d20.
All of you are going to roll 1d20. I'm looking for a 1 or a 20.
Oh shit.
that sucks.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back. Roll the d20, 1 or 20.
I got a 20.
Did you really?
Yeah, I swear.
I got a 10.
I got a 5.
Yes!
I had 2.
I finally get to roll it! All right, so I'm just going to do it and we're going to talk about it. This is a D100, baby. You need to stop rolling. Stop rolling.
You should roll it like in
Stop
front,
rolling.
like on the battle map.
Do you want to roll it on one of ours? Oh, shit.
So, what happens is Steve is standing with you guys, and then all of a sudden his right hand starts to like jitter, and he takes his left hand and stops it, and he goes, "Guys, I don't know what to do. Just get away from me, get away from me!" And all of a sudden the arcane runes, the lines on his sorcerer body begin to glow a bright color, and all of a sudden from his fingertips, all of the lines kind of converge into his head, and he goes, "Choo!" What?
Disgusting.
He pulls out a handkerchief and blows his nose. Snot just comes out. And, shoo! He's going to suffer from an extreme head cold for 24 hours. So, he now is going to be sneezing the entire time and blowing his nose as snot is just draining.
This is disgusting.
He's very embarrassed.
Is that something Lesser Restoration would fix?
I believe the DM
Is
wants
it
us to
not a
happen.
poisinning? I mean, I'm not going to fix it since he's
If you want
not
to
here.
do that, I'm not going to tell you
Since
no.
he's not here, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, that's a smart idea. So, you guys are standing out in the courtyard. You're dealing with Oscar. You guys are kind of getting to know each other, a few conversations. And as you guys are standing there, it's right about now, it's about 1 p.m. Sun's bright. The clouds are moving along. It's a pretty nice day. You hear some whipping from out back, from good old Mercy. The goblin kids are playing. There's a couple of families out in the center. Now, people can come into Haven that are not part of Haven. The gates are open. Trading happens. A few vendors are in there. And in the bustle and hustle of everything, some people are already drunk, being midday, you know, those alcoholics and drug dealers.
Ooh, is it Tuesday or Thursday?
Nope.
Wait, we have drugs?
Yes.
Calm down, Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the courtyard, and I'm going to kind of draw this as none of these really need to be here. In the front of the courtyard, this is the front of Haven. So think of a double door right there. And think of this to be the front gate. Okay? And the front gate
Big
is right
courtyard.
here.
It's huge.
So you've got just kind of like a walkway right here, right? So you got people all around.
Like in the courtyard area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys, just together, I don't know which ones are everyone here.
I'm the
battle
female
axe
drow.
green brown dude battle axe
Oh, this
right there in
one. I
front.
don't think anybody's this guy.
No,
right?
I'm that one.
You're this one?
Yeah.
Who's this?
That's my disguised self form.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Which you're not right now.
Right.
And then Steve
Nerd.
Leave me alone.
is going to be this character for today.
Yeah, I see you.
That's Nate.
That's not. Why do you have so many characters? All right.
She has
leave
a
it, We'll leave it
problem.
like this. You guys are over here. What's happening is right there. As you guys are standing, it's a beautiful day. Nothing seems to be awry. A portal about 8 feet tall from nothingness, the dead center, just goes immediately. And it's ethereal, and there's smoke pouring out of it. And all of a sudden it appears, and the looper girl pops through, dragging her sister's lifeless body behind her, and she is screaming, just, help me, please, just screaming, trying to pull this lifeless blue tiefling body as she is covered in blood. One of her horns is completely broken off, and she is pulling her sister. And of course, Nathan comes out in the balcony. And he goes, what's happening? And she just looks up at Nathan, holding her sister's body as the portal is starting to close. And she goes, he killed all of them. Every single one of them. 2 hands pull and stop inside the portal and begin to rip. And then 2 more hands grab the other sides of the portal. And this lanky gentleman pulls himself through the portal. And with his hands, he pulls it open, and the portal stays open. What you see before you is a 7-foot-tall, 4-armed humanoid. The 2 arms go underneath the cloak. It's a large black cloak, very broad shoulders, very thin-faced, black slick hair, black eyes, and a smile that reaches almost to the corner. Takes out one of his hands, very long. Where our hands go right past her waist, his hands can reach almost all the way down to his knees. He brings up this lanky, long hand with a finger and points to her. Pause.
It's not a person.
Do we get a reaction at all?
Nope.
Ooh, just kidding.
Here we go, Bruce.
Oh, I'm ready.
He points his finger towards her. This happens in seconds. And says, she has taken what's rightfully mine. I don't appreciate that. I want it back. Looking up at Nathaniel. Nathaniel just says, who are you and why are you here? Give it back. Now. Looking at her directly in the eyes, and she's clutching something in her other hand. She just screams out, he took the box and he killed all of them. Every single one. Nathaniel, please help us. And with that, he goes, enough. Takes his other hand and just brushes his hands out like this in a wide motion. Everyone in the entire the yard, every person in a 90-foot area from him, they stop. Completely and motionless.
Including us?
Including you guys. You are immediately able to move your head slightly from right to left and realize when you're looking around, everyone else is stuck in their motion. They can only move their eyes. And you see people's eyes move. The mouths cannot move. It is dead silence. As there are no sounds in this area. Everyone is completely frozen. Nathaniel, standing, moving his head ever so slightly, doesn't say anything. He just stares. And as this long, lanky person kind of makes a smile creep across his face, gets a little bit closer to the girl, and she is stuck as well. And she can't move at all. Her eyes are the only thing that she can move, but you 5 can move your heads.
Can I move my mouth?
Not yet. If you want to try to move your mouth, you're going to need to give me an arcane check. And it's a pretty high DC, but you can absolutely try. Does anybody want to do that?
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. You're more than happy to try.
Nope. That's 6.
6 will not do it. 5 will not do it. Do you guys want to roll? Okay.
Nope, I'm not gonna roll. Are you gonna roll?
Nope. 9.
Nathaniel, begins to say a word. Malcolm! And he all of a sudden can move. Rips out his sword and plunges off the second level, coming straight down to where that man is. And by the time he's about to touch the sword to his body, he just looks up and without emotion says a word, and he is frozen in air, just suspended. And he begins to slowly float as if he is completely not affected by gravity and just lifeless and frozen. And he begins to just hover and move upwards. Looking somewhat annoyed, he looks back down at the girl, takes what's in her hand away from her, prying the fingers. You can hear it go as the fingers and the whole body is paralyzed. He's breaking the fingers and taking what's in her hand. He puts it in his person and looks over at you and is about to turn back towards the portal that's still, vibrating. He looks at you. Where did you put the shard?
It'd be in a tiny little bag on my
on the
hip.
bag? Okay. He cocks his head ever so slightly. How does a mere mortal have a sister? He starts to move towards you. You can make another arcane check if you want to see if you can move your lips.
Yeah, well.
Okay, roll it. This is only for you, since he's moving directly towards you.
That's cocked. How is that cocked, though? It's so weird.
It rolled itself.
There we go. 13.
13 does not make it. The DC was 15. As he moves towards you, he reaches out his hand towards where the bag and the shard is, and out of nowhere you hear a sound effect. And as your eyes are watching his hand as it goes, from the forearm, from the elbow down, immediately is sliced off, and he reels back, and his arm kind of whips back as blood then sprays all over you, and you hear a shuffle feet, shuffle feet, shuffle feet, shuffle feet, as Malcolm comes around the corner with his cane and says, "Jargle, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?" And he's screaming, Jargle, as he's screaming and pulls his other three hands covering the blood and bringing his cape up to keep the blood from spewing everywhere. He just looks over and goes, "This is your doing? How many times, Malcolm? How many times have you sent me and I've returned? Don't you think I'm going to do it again?" And he begins to speak a few different arcane letterings and murmurs from the Hellish speak, as you imagine Hellish speak being words spoken backwards, kind of like a record player. And he's speaking and starting to, and Malcolm brings his cane down and says, "Enough!" From the top to the bottom, a portal opens above Jargle, and he's just gone immediately from the top to the bottom. And then ethereal dust around the ground, and you hear as he begins shuffling back. When the last bit of Jargle is gone, the portal closes. Everyone immediately begins to move again. As like, what's happening? What happened there? Who was that? What would you guys like to do?
Can I do a perception check retroactively to see what it was that he took out of her hands?
Absolutely. You can move your eyes. It will be at disadvantage.
Damn it, I was going to be like, can it be with an advantage? Because it's my natural terrain.
Nope. Held and stuck in place. That'll be a disadvantage. You're looking for... Let's make it a 14.
Ooh, 19 and a 17.
Okay, good. Good job.
Wait, what's my perception? +4, so that's a 21 with disadvantage.
Good. Okay. Above that, I can give you a bit more. What you saw was an amulet. Inside the amulet, when he grabbed it from her fingers, there is a small crystal that looks like a perfect obsidian cube, only about this big, 1 by 1 inch. inside the pendant. And inside this pendant, there is arcane runes. It is oblong. It's about this big on itself. There's 2 rings. On each of the rings, they can move in opposite directions. Outer ring moves this direction. Inner ring moves this way. One
Time
pendant,
turner.
gold chain. Hanging past the knees. Somebody give me, or all of you, give me a perception check to see if I can give you any more details about Jargle. What he looks like.
12.
16.
10.
7.
It's all pretty low, but
16.
that's still pretty low. He's a tall humanoid man with a large black cloak, 8 feet tall. Intricate armor pauldrons made of dark materials and gold furnishings along the edge. His humanoid arms are longer than normal, sickly almost, and the fingers, with the tips of the fingers, are like very long, scratched nails.
Disgusting.
Not perfect, but jagged.
And he's missing one of them now, right?
Yes. Standing with such an air of importance as he walks around. He never bends over. He takes a knee like a noble would and reaches out for things. Very, very uppity feeling as the way he talked. That's about what I'll give you. I won't give you the other half.
Did the arm that got removed from his body, did it go with him, or is it still laying in the courtyard?
It's still laying in the courtyard.
I would like to rush over to Cinder and her sister. Cinder's the one that's dead, right?
Cinder is the one that is not dead.
Are they both blue?
Or unconscious?
They're both blue. The
Oh,
only
okay. I thought
difference is
one was-
one has a green eye on the left and the other one has the green eye on the right.
And I'd like to check on the sister, or her sister.
Yeah.
Is she dead?
You rush over, give me a medicine, unless you're trying to heal her, give me a medicine check.
I'm going to assist.
Okay? Yeah, go ahead and roll an advantage. People are scared. They have no idea what happened, who that was, how could somebody just teleport in. Malcolm had turned and he's walking away. Nathaniel fell when he went away. He about 18 feet.
I laughed at him. Not just
Yeah, he took some damage from the fall, but he's not
Take the
hurt.
2d6.
What would you roll?
16.
16? With a 16, you're able to check her pulse and realize there's a faint pulse. And with some time, with healing or a potion, she could come to, but she is unconscious.
I'd like to cast Cure Wounds on her.
Okay,
At
go
level
ahead and
3.
roll heals. You won't need to really roll the. Well, yeah, go ahead and roll. She's unconscious. I'm looking for at least 8 healing to make her awake.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on her sister, the one that's alive but bleeding.
Okay.
28.
28. Yeah, you see that her right leg was actually backwards,
Ugh,
completely
gross.
snapped,
Disgusting.
and as you heal, you hear this, and as it goes, it resets itself magically. Her right arm had a massive bite wound out of it. I mean, from the inside all the way out. It was huge. It kind of looks like possibly the same size as his mouth. Sharp teeth. This kind of regrows and forms back, kind of like a weird cell regeneration. And then she kind of comes to with a breath. What happened?
Fight for her sister.
Yep. And the sister, she's got blood majorly on her, but she doesn't look that hurt, but she was hurt. She's not like broken bones and in a horrible condition. With this, they hug each other and they start talking back and forth and Tiefling and Infernal back and forth, just speaking really, 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 really fast. And she nods to her, and she nods, and then she hugs her, and they just go, poof. They're gone.
Hey, poof.
Cool beans.
Nathaniel picking himself up, looking over at Malcolm before he leaves. Malcolm just looks, nods, gives a big sigh, looks to you guys. I think the quest might have to wait. Go talk to Malcolm. I'm sure you guys don't know who that is, but we have a bigger problem now.
Bruce,
And then-
Bruce wants to go pick up the arm.
Okay, yeah. You go over and you pick it up. It's about, so our normal arm length is about 2.5 feet. His is almost 3 feet from fingertip all the way to the elbow. It's really nasty. The blood is a black ichor that's got red in it, and it's constantly, when it hits the ground, it almost acts like acid with little puffs, like a lot of it's drained out already. Have you ever seen where somebody like drops extremity, but the hand stays pretty good because it's flesh? It doesn't act like that. It's like deflating. It's a really nasty black ichor. So yeah, you pick it up. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna take it to Malcolm. Be like, is there any way to beat this guy?
Sure. What are you guys doing as a group?
I'm following the guy with the
Gonna
arm.
go to Malcolm, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go talk to Malcolm.
Okay. So you guys make it to where Malcolm is, and what was strange is you know that he's normally in his tower, which is outside, but he came around the corner. So when you go back around the corner, there's actually a small door. And you've never seen this door before. And it's beginning to not dissipate, but it's in the stone. The stone's starting to form over the actual door. And then as you guys are kind of realizing this is weird, you see all of a sudden it stops and then goes back as the door kind of opens up, and you hear, just come in. We have to talk. Do you guys just go ahead and go down?
Is Malcolm a gnome? I forget.
He is not. He
What
is
is
an
he?
old human.
Old human.
He's lived a lot longer than humans have.
Tight.
He's around 365 years old. Just so you are kind of context of how old and feeble he looks. So that door opens, and it's just stairwell. It's a spiral straight down. You guys follow down. It's torches. It's lit. Okay. It's a little bit tight for you guys because you're so big. Because he's an old man. This door's not real big, but you're able to kind of like crouch over and like wiggle your way down. Do you guys make it all the way down? Is that what you're okay? Yeah, you guys make it all the way down. It goes down into a room. There's no door. It's all open, and it's just lined with alchemy bottles, alchemy stations, weird flasks and bubbling ichors and all this stuff. And he's just sitting there in a rocker in the middle of the room. And sorry, this is more built for me. It's not built for you. Just go ahead and take a seat. We'll have one of my famous story times. And so what he's going to, as long as you guys take a seat and kind of listen to, sorry. So the problem is that thing that was outside. I know that creature well. His name is Jargle. He's born from dark magic from his master. He serves a radiant god from the abyss. It's a Balor named Bajori. Bajori, he's benevolent. He is great. But he requires sacrifice. Lots of sacrifice. When I was a young boy, and he goes on to, spiel a bit of this. I was actively adventuring. I chased Jargle over all the lands. But now, as I'm an old man, every time I kill him, he comes back. So every time I see him, I send him to a new plane, where I guess he kills himself and comes back. That's what I did out there. I sent him this time to the plane of eternal fire, the 7th level of hell. I've sent him 1 through 6, so I'm going all the way down to the 9th. He always comes back and tries to finish what he started. I've spent my entire life thwarting that plan. I haven't seen him in over 27 years. But it seems like he was ready and waiting for us this time. I got word that he was waiting in a lair trying to get sacrifices. So we sent 16 of our best tier 2 with the loopers to take and capture his soul in a box that I've created. And inside that box, he would not be able to ever return, as he would sit on my shelf and gather a little bit of dust. But that didn't work well, and I need that small box. I don't know if there's a way to defeat him. I've cut off his head. I've cut off his arms. I have disintegrated him. He always comes back. Balor, the Bajori, always brings him back. And it takes 100 souls to resurrect him. So you can imagine, he's taking a lot of souls from this plane. I've only been to that Radiant realm one time. Tia helped project my astral version of me into that plane to see if there was a way to stop him. I couldn't find a way. But when I touched the shard, it gave me some insight. That shard is part of what's called the Seven Sisters. What your friend actually has is the Sister of Dread and Sacrifice. What I believe is Bajori is resurrecting Jargol to capture enough souls to be able to find one of the shards. Little did I know, and I still don't know, how Ava got a hold of Dread and Sacrifice. But you have a legendary shard that there is only 7 of existence. The last one that was found was sent to Arglanos, to be sent in a giant catacomb to never be used. When somebody uses the shard, they can find the next shard. And if you can collect 2, no one knows what happens. But it's fabled and it's legendary that they can control minds and change wars and cast 10th level spells and create volcanoes from nothing. These are the same shards that help create this plane. All the shards are a part of an old world god called Neharim.
Can you say that again?
Neharim. When Neharim passed some time ago, his soul was ripped apart into 7 shards, each a personality trait. That personality trait requires something. And when I was in that shard moment, it told me 3 words. I almost said 2. Redemption is sacrifice. I don't know what that means. But the story goes, if you can fulfill its desire and recite those words, it will somehow show you where the next shard is that is nearest to the person. Either it's on a different plane, on the same plane. We know that there's one in Arglanos. That was centuries ago. Whether or not it's still there, we have no idea. Unpause.
Unpause.
As Malcolm's talking to you, he's kind of just spilling a ton of this information. He likes the fact that he can talk to people about this, as it's been a well-kept secret. Nathaniel, footsteps happen down the stairwell, and Nathaniel comes in, and he goes, I'm sorry to interrupt this. I hope you got all the information, but all of you need to come upstairs. Something's going on. You guys go with?
Yep.
Okay, you guys follow him all the way up. He takes you to the obelisk tower of his tower, up the 6 flights, and on that top level, they've got a couple of large round pieces of glass, which you use as magnifiers to kind of look. And what you guys see without even looking, give me all a perception roll.
Okay. I get advantage because of her ranger?
Sure.
Oh, cool. It didn't help.
Anything above a 10.
24.
Good.
11.
14.
14. 24, you see something very specific.
What do my special eyes show me?
Everything, my brand. Everything above a 10, what you guys, as soon as you get up, you kind of see that they have a couple of those glasses to kind of look out in different directions. But over the center of the city, there is a giant blue sigil. It's round, it's not moving, it's horizontal with the ground. And with the way that you guys are looking, being up on the hill, you can surmise it's probably 200 to 250 feet up above the ground. And it's big. Probably a good 50, 60 feet wide in diameter, seeing the fact that you can clear as day see it. And this sigil looks like arcane lettering around, and it's just perfectly centered. Nathaniel looks at you guys and I don't know how long it's been there. It's probably when Jargle showed up, I'm guessing. I don't know. Malcolm, have you seen anything like this? Malcolm kind of peers a bit. He takes the glass and angles it. I'm going to have to look at my notes. I'll be back. And he just goes straight down and starts rummaging through books and things of that nature. With the 24, what you specifically see is that over the next 30 seconds that you're watching, of the 50 arcane symbols, bright. The one next to it. Bright. The one next to that. Bright. They're starting to slowly get brighter as in the circle. Now there's 2 circles inside of each other. There's one outer ring and then there's one inner. What did you roll, Voquis?
11.
You see that there are rings. That's about all I can give you for 11. But for you guys, that you see, there's an arcane symbol above. You want to roll a history check? Wait, what? Did you roll perception on the? No, you didn't. Okay, never mind. I don't want to metagame tabletop myself here. No. So Malcolm is going through a bunch of stuff. You guys are just kind of watching for a bit. It's been... Go ahead.
Oh, I do want to note that while we were down with Malcolm, I would have told him, hey, this is what I saw he grabbed away from Cinder's sister. I can't remember her name. So that, the amulet. So, they would have known that, I knew about the amulet and, what it looked like and everything from that perception check that I did.
Sure.
So
that works perfect. It still does the same actions with that knowledge.
I just want to make sure that all that information was communicated.
Yeah.
What's Cinder's sister's name?
I can't remember. I don't want to...
Slash.
2.0. Cinder Slash.
Cinder Slash. Yeah, I just can't remember.
His sister's name's Slash.
The sister was the one that was knocked out.
Yes.
Cinder was the one that was talking. I'll write that one down. I need to put here's my NPC name back here.
I have an NPC list. Maybe it's in there.
Wait, what?
Okay,
it's
so
empty. Never
anything
mind.
while you guys are looking out on this, anything you want to do? Anything you want to talk? You want to
kind of point out how it's ticking up or down, the getting brighter, as if it was on a time limit.
He's super arcane. We're going to play that Steve
Can see it.
sees this, and he kind of sees what's going on here, and what he's going to divulge. I'm going to roll the D20, the big old D20. Let's see what he gets. 17, that's enough, even with his probably +4, +5
Yeah.
arcane.
Ooh, I can put up his
He goes, I'm pretty sure I've... Yeah, that's, you said the lights were showing around? Yeah, that's, it's called a time release spell, essentially. When those lights all fill up, something's gonna happen. What? I don't know, they all look the same.
Is there anything we can do to mitigate this?
That's a pretty big rune.
Okay.
I can't, even on my best day, I can't even make a rune half that size.
How about you, Malcolm?
Malcolm's down below,
Oh, Malcolm
going
went
through
down below.
stuff, and Steve's gonna go. I'm gonna go help Malcolm. This isn't good. yeah, this isn't good. And he's going to walk on down, and now you hear two people going through stuff, and they start jammering back and forth about what they're seeing. Malcolm's like, oh, yeah, get the top book right there, yeah. They're going to be searching for things. Anything else you guys want to do this time?
Do I still have the arm?
Yeah? You still got the arm?
I'm going to put it in my satchel.
Okay.
Keep it with me.
Sure.
I got a plan for this arm.
I like it. Okay, so
Beat Jargo
as you
with
guys are
his own
standing up there, like Nathaniel said, you don't know how long that one's already been up there, and I'm going to showcase where it's at right now with this red die. This is about the size.
Mm-hmm.
It's right above the market.
Tight.
Was there one by the drugs? I'll get some drugs and then take care of it.
As you're standing up there, you see to your right a bit, as you guys are looking out across, a second one, much closer, appears. Also, same look. You don't even need to roll for this, as it's only a couple, like about 300 or 400 feet away from you. As it's the same, it looks like it's the same height, same sigil. Boom. Boom.
Bruce just goes, well, that's probably not good.
As we're seeing this, I will divvy out the good berries I made for the day, and with the new folk, I'll be like, these are special berries that will make you stronger.
Oh, thanks. I like being stronger.
And I'll just divvy out.
What are they called?
Good berries.
Good bears.
They just
Like
heal you for
oh, yeah.
1 HP, and then they actually make you feel full.
Is it like an action to eat them or bonus
It's an
action?
action to eat one.
Cool.
Boom. Happens again. It's a weird noise. It's basically what I just made. Boom. As it just appears out of nowhere. This one over the ocean line, outside of the city. Same features. Doom. Doom.
I feel we're fully unprepared for all this.
So as these two appear, Nathaniel is going to immediately run downstairs and start yelling at Malcolm. Malcolm Kane
Okay.
comes up and looks. Yeah, this is what I feared. Nathaniel, it's... Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing the Takalang verse. For you non-arcane people, he's performing the Soul Drinker. That amulet that you gave him, if that is charged, I don't have time to explain much more. The whole city is in grave danger. Nathaniel, you're going to need to get everybody inside. And Nathaniel just looks really grim. What do you mean inside? He goes, I'm going to have to do it. He goes, we've talked about that, but that's seriously the only thing that we can do left? Like, you just see these in the sky and that's what you jump to? I don't see another way. I have a time limit. I have to do it. Okay. Get everybody inside. We're okay. And he just really confused and frustrated with the situation. He just starts running down. You, follow me. You guys run with him?
Yes.
Yes.
Going right back. Malcolm is going to grab some stuff as you guys are running out.
I'll
He's
help him
grabbing
grab
things.
everything, yeah.
Sure, yeah. He's grabbing very specific things. And you're gonna help him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna carry
Okay,
stuff.
yeah.
with it.
He
Just
starts
stuff.
putting all these weird vials and crystals and things. Yeah, I need 2 of those and 1 of these. And he's grabbing everything as he's going down the layers. You're going to help him. He's going to take you down to the underneath, below Haven, where he was before. Hey, yeah, just put him down here. That's fine. And he's as you are going to go away, as he is needing alone time. It's been a pleasure, Voquis.
Uh-oh.
And you do what with that type of wording?
I'm gonna hug him.
Oh, that's nice. You're so furry.
You know, like a granddaughter hugs her grandfather.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you
He's
know?
real feeble
Paw-paw.
arms, like
Yeah.
really limp arms.
You
Like,
know?
oh, that's a very nice. That's
Yeah.
very nice.
I'll be like, thank you for
He's
everything
gonna
you've
put
done
his
for
face
Haven.
into the fur.
Yeah.
There, okay. You're not there.
He motorboats the fur. So yeah, he gives you a hug. Get everybody inside. And you go back up to find him. Nathaniel's barking orders. It is complete chaos at this point. Yeah. You still hear the sounds of people screaming and doing different things as mass chaos is beginning to break out in the city. As you can imagine, panic as these giant arcane symbols are appearing. You have people on arcane loudspeakers speaking out to people. Nobody panic! It's perfectly fine! The Waterdeep Navy has this completely under control! Blah, blah, blah. And those sigils are... And they're still getting brighter. Things are happening. People are getting stuff together and running. But you guys have been tasked to get people inside, okay? So all of the people, all of the Haven people have been tasked by Nathaniel to get people inside for safety, right? So as this is happening, groups of people are being brought in, the goblins. I mean, we're filling all of Haven. Haven and its walls are being completely filled with people.
So priority is Hilda here. Perception check. Do I see Hilda?
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
She is not here for what that you've seen thus far. You want to do a perception check to see if she's in the crowd. This is a large amount of people coming in. 11. You do not see her.
I'm gonna go to the Drunken Horse.
Okay. You guys doing anything specific? Are you just helping
I'm just
everybody?
I'm helping Malcolm get people into Haven. Trying to guide people in, throwing kids on my shoulders, carrying them inside.
Oh yeah, we're talking like standing room only sort of situation. They're filling up the inside. People are bringing carts. They're not letting carts come in. That takes up too much space. All the people inside, bringing people, children and families first. Men staying outside. The fourth one pops open, and then I guess I can go ahead and put them out. Do one of these. 5th and 6th. From your vantage point, specifically Steve, he knows what this is happening. Because of his arcane nature and his personality, he didn't want to say what he really thought was happening. But now that the other ones have shown up, and he's like drawing a little bit on his hand. When I said it was gonna be bad, this is really bad. When that last sigil starts happening, we're gonna start seeing lines being created between all the points. This is a city-sized arcane spell. Whatever you think that you've known, this is not... I didn't think this was even possible. Just kind of muttering to himself and realizing that he's not really helping. He's just kind of staying off in the corner. You guys are helping multiple people come in, and in the center, where above the market, now that there's all 5 along the edges have appeared, a portal, 60 feet wide portal, horizontal, so you have the arcane symbol, and then a portal opens up. Same exact one as that was in the courtyard. And out of the portal come 9 figures. They're floating in a perfect circle. These figures you can see are little humanoids, but they have long clothing drapes, 25 feet long, faceless masks, hoods up, no hands, they have where the hands and arms would be, but these cloaks are 20 feet long. 9 of them, all facing out. Then out from the center, what you can see again, is Jargle. He descends out of that center portal, and you guys have been really busy doing things. Give me all a perception check to see how much of this you actually see.
Excuse me.
14.
14? That's good. 12.
24.
5.
5. So, as this portal opened, where there's been the boom sound effect for all the sigils, this one is like a crackling like storm cloud sound and feel to it. And as they come through, even with the 5, you're going to kind of turn. You might not see, like, oh, I didn't wear my glasses today. You can't really make out what's going on, but you do recognize that things are happening. With all those rolls, you see the 9 people. You see Jargle descending. He's wearing a completely different set of armor. Before it was black and had gold trim. Now it's completely gold from head to toe. He's got a mask that only shows half of his face, long, but all 4 arms are outstretched with gold pauldrons.
So he has his arm back?
Yes.
Cool.
He has a giant medallion in the center of his chest, and he's descending with his 4 arms, and he looks, and his arms come down to the side. He speaks in one accord inside every citizen's head, telepathically. You hear these words. Citizens of Waterdeep, your selfless sacrifice today will be not forgotten. Instead, your story shall be spoken about for centuries to come, as each and every soul today will become the event that brings forth Bajori, my lord. This is the reckoning. Fear not, your salvation has arrived. And as his hands go out and do that motion, the center of his amulet, that little cube, comes out, and he puts 2 hands over the cube, and as his other 2 hands come out, a portal below them then opens, and a giant sword begins to plummet. The sword's about 90 feet tall, as you see the blade coming straight out with force, straight down into the market. The blade is long, and as the blade starts to go down, it causes a huge tremor. The blade pierces the ground, causes lava and red rock explosion out from, and as it just plummets all the way down to the hilt. This hilt is 20 feet long. The top of it goes up another 40 feet. This sword is massive. It plummets directly into Waterdeep's market. When it lands in the hilt, fire and brimstone just start spilling out as if it's causing like a volcano. It's bubbling out from where the hilt is. It's bubbling from the hilt out the top like a fountain, causing lava just to pour. Out of the lava, then these creatures start to mold and bring out from the lava as these fire elementals, 20 feet tall, begin to, as their arms unfurl and their mouths come out, they're breathing hot air. 3 massive fire elementals just begin screaming as all of the people are fleeing for their lives. Their arms start to rake across, tearing down whole buildings in full sweeps, causing fire, and the fire is beginning in the center. Out from the sides of them, these dog-like howls begin to burn as everyone can hear them, as they're loud as can be. These fire wolves begin to materialize out of this molten lava, and they begin to run and attack and tear apart people. The last thing that's coming out of this bit of the hilt is a spewing of giant spiders who are lit with fire, who immediately begin spraying webs against people, putting people against walls with such force as they begin to skitter out, capturing people and just completely webbing them. The fire's burning, these creatures are pouring out of this delving massive molten lava as the fire elementals are just tearing down buildings and killing people as they're smashing. The dogs are ripping them apart, and as they step across, fire licks behind them in each step. The spiders are crawling along the walls, and these are 3 feet big, long spiders, but they're spewing webs that are not made of fire, but they're capturing the people and putting them against the walls. They are spreading from that center point. What would you guys like to do? You see this happening. It is chaos.
I need to find Hilda. Like, above all else.
Okay.
I need to find Hilda.
Okay, you're going to search for Hilda. Intention, what do you guys want to do?
So that came out of the center one.
Yep. So
is there anything happening with the outer ones? Like the lines already started to form between them all?
Nope, lines have not started to form. The center, the D4, is where this giant sword has plummeted directly into the ground. And it is all the way down to the hilt. Fire and brimstone is pouring out from the center, destroying the market completely. But now all these creatures are literally just going and just going down each and every street, getting the people. And there's masses of people running, crowds of people. There's hundreds of thousands of people that live here. There's just people in the streets, and these dogs are ripping them apart as the crowd's trying to move. People are getting webbed. It's a big crowd goes around the side, and there's a giant fire elemental as he brings down his giant hand and smashes half of them. I mean, this is chaos. People are dying. People are running. If that builds the scene.
Where are we in?
You guys are here, Southern Ward.
Okay. I would like to ask Bruce if he would like to try to, in some way, build up like a blockade from them coming towards us to try to hold them off to give her more time.
Okay, that's good. Anything? What do you want to do, Elric?
I guess I'd probably still be ushering people in because I'm assuming
You're gonna
the
help with the
crowds
people?
coming south would thicken as this happens. So I'd probably be ushering people into the gates of.
Okay, let's do it in this order. You first, second, barricading and stuff third, okay? As you're trying to go to the doors and you're trying to help people, and you're saying, come in here, people are like, no, why? Like, we gotta get out of the city, the gates are right there. People are running past Haven and getting, but only certain families, people that are families of the adventurers, they kind of know what's going on. They kind of know the plan if they've been around Haven long enough. And they're trying to get people to come in here as no animals or creatures have made it to the Southern Ward yet, but you're trying to usher some people in. You help a family that's a mother with no father situation. She's got 6 kids with her, and you usher them in. They help with the young children. You're trying to keep people calm. Some people fall down in the streets. You're keeping them from being trampled and pushing other people off. Trying to keep the peace and keep people safe as they're frantically running out. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Looking for Hilda. You go right past Elric and you go out. You're fighting against the crowd as the crowd's going this way, and you're trying to push through.
Screaming her name.
Yeah, you're screaming her name. You're trying to get her a hold
Her
of.
mom's name, like
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you come around the side, you see Hilda and her mom closing up the shop, like locking the door and getting everybody. And the mom's got a giant barrel of ale.
Of course she does.
And they're very worried, and they both turn, and you make eye contact with them.
Yeah, I'll grab the thing of ale
Okay.
from Aluntha, and I'll say, we're going to Haven, Malcolm's gonna protect us, let's go. And I just grab, like,
Yeah.
them and go, like,
Yeah.
as fast as
She
I can.
hands you
like,
the ale barrel, and immediately they just follow. They know the plan. So they're like, yeah, absolutely. We got to get some more people. And then they realize there's other people just kind of pushing. It's complete
we
chaos.
make a chain, like, all the way to
Yeah,
Haven,
you
yeah.
guys kind of just make your way, and then you guys get inside Haven. Hilda and her mom are inside. Okay? Nathaniel's barking orders from the second level. You, get those people off those roads. Get these clear. Do this. Any of the tier 2s over here, get outside. We got to barricade the door. We have to make sure that they don't get in. If they come over the edge, you got to climb the wall. You got to get outside, and you got to kill it. At no cost can anything come inside here. It'll be a slaughterhouse if they do. You 4, like multiples of you, get outside, start barricading the street if you can. I know there's a lot of people out there. Take barrels, take carts, make a barricade. You have to protect the front gate at all costs. If anything gets in here, they will all be slaughtered. There's nothing else we can do. So that's your new goal. Okay. So with you guys doing that, you guys now, you're helping at the front gate. You found Hilda and them. Are you going to go help?
Absolutely. yeah.
Okay. Go.
Is Oscar able to help by like necking barrels over?
Sure. So I would.
Adorable.
You grab his neck
I like
and you
your
pull
blood.
him through the crowd as he's a decently good-sized bird. I mean, Oscar's not small. And you guys, you 5, make it to the gate and then out. You're already out there. They tell you the plan. Do you join with them?
Yeah, I'll join them.
Okay. So as you 5 are coming out of the gate, they immediately put the giant bars across. They have closed the gate behind you, and they are starting to bar it. Okay. They put a ladder on the inside, and then bring another ladder and put it on the outside. When it gets too bad, climb up, get over the side. We can't let them in. So you have a way to get back inside if you need to. It's about a 20-foot wall, and it's pretty big. As you guys are getting out there, a giant fire dog, essentially. It's a giant hell beast with hair on the back where the spine is. It's just licking fire constantly. It takes and rips a person completely in half. 20 feet down, the crowd starts surging. Okay, roll for initiative.
Let's go, baby!